Are you my co-host? I love this. Hello, welcome back to my channel. My name is Melanie Tana. I love to talk about books and stories of all kinds. And I also love my cat Bones. He decided to be in the video today. Hi, buddy. He wants to look out the window. So today I'm going to be talking about a couple books I recently read by Anthony Doerr. I'm sure that you've seen them on bookshelves, heard people talk about them, especially with the recent Netflix adaptation of one of them. But the first book I read of his was Cloud Cuckoo Land, and the other book that I just finished a few days ago is All the Light We Cannot See, and that is the one with the Netflix adaptation. But as I've been reading these two books, I read them both kind of as a buddy read with my mom, and we were just talking so much about why his writing is so captivating and what he does to draw you in like that. And whenever I'm reading a book, I do analyze it, partly to talk about it in a video and partly to learn from it as a writer. And I was just trying to figure out, as a writer, because these books are so beautifully written, what is it that he's doing that I like so much? And there's a few things just generally that I like about his books. He manages to create very intimate moments with characters. A lot of those intimate moments show the heart of the character, their true spirit, and can directly relate to the theme in the story. I find that you're sort of drawn into little moments with characters rather than given a general understanding of them, which I think is more rewarding personally and builds the character a lot better. In both books, he manages to connect very different people from very different timelines and backgrounds into the same story. He also has a matter-of-fact way of writing, where if something bad happens, he's sort of honest about it, but in a gentle way. You feel like he cares about the reader, he's delivering them the story, but he's going to be honest about it, and his characters are going to be honest about it, which is very, very, I don't know, it's just the way he says it just hits more, because he knows, he trusts that. He doesn't need to be all weepy about it. He can just tell you what happened, and you can understand, like, oh, that is devastating, and have that impression placed upon you. But one of my favorite things about Anthony Doerr's characters from both of these books are that they love things, and that the things they love propel the story and give us true insight into their character. So this is sort of what I learned, or a tool I could learn from while reading this as a writer, but also just the impact it had on me as a reader was very profound. I've always loved stories where characters are invested in things. I feel like, as a neurodivergent person myself, I'm very, very connected to the things that I love. Obviously, I make videos about books and I have collections of things like Funko Pops and stuff. And I think it's a very human thing, probably one of the most human things, to find great interest in something and have a desire to understand it. It also reminds me of how when a loved one will tell you what gives them life, go into great detail about their work or their passion. And like, I don't know if you have loved ones who talk about things like that and you don't understand it. If you really love them, I think a lot of the time you don't really care. Like, it's okay that you don't understand it. What you're getting from the conversation is just listening to someone talk about something they love that makes them happy, and you want them to be happy, so you enjoy that. And I get that feeling while reading these books. So these characters love anything from radios to snails to like translating Greek text. And it's so, they get so in depth about it and so fascinated by it. And it's so telling of their character, how they explore those worlds, how they interact with them. And majority of the time when they go into detail about it, I don't know what they're talking about. I really don't. I can get a general understanding sometimes, and other times I am so out of my depth. But what is fascinating is we're not watching a character talk about the facts of something they know details about. It's not about their knowledge, it's about their passion. It's about how they talk about it and how it connects them to everything in their life. So coming from the moments of humanness and goodness of these characters, the author manages to add the things they love. So, like I said, radios, Greek translations, books, owls, birds, shells, airplanes even, conservation, all kinds of animals, you name it. These characters have their little interests and passions, the things that give them life. And we want our characters to have life breathed into them. But he does that, and he connects it to their goodness and the themes of the things they're going through. I think we tend to be afraid of the details when writing a story about something where a character knows a lot about something because we haven't done the research and we're scared to get it wrong. That's a big thing for me. Do your research as a writer. Get to know the things your characters know to the best of your ability. And you can go into detail. You can have the character analyzing and talking about something, and it is often more fascinating to the reader to get some depth. Even if they don't comprehend it, they don't need to. We don't need to fix the radios that Werner fixes in All the Light We Cannot See. We don't need to collect shells and become biologists, but we can learn about a biologist and understand their love for the thing to help us understand them. So I think that's a good challenge for me personally, to get more in depth about the things my characters love. And you don't need to like exposition dump it onto them, but there's going to be a change in a character's perspective based on the things that they're fascinated by. So with that perspective, Anthony Doerr does not just stop there. He doesn't stop with detailed descriptions of the things they love, characters going off about their passions. He continues to guide the reader through metaphors that relate directly to these characters' passions. So there are metaphors, basic parallels to the topic we've been given little details on, and then the current state of the characters' lives. Like, it's all connected. There are moments of heaviness, of loss and grief, others of trauma, perfect contentedness, peace, even joy, all mixed together. And he captures it in an honest moment every time. And these moments tie back to the characters' lives and connect us to the setting. And the setting is often deeply related to the thing that they love. So it becomes very intimate and connected and special, and also in a way addictive. His writing is so beautiful and it flows so well. I did not feel like I had to get through it. I felt like I wanted to devour it. It was very appetizing that way. So if you want to make someone care about a character, give them something interesting to root for, make them less than a bland representation of yourself, take the time to get to know the people you've created in your mind. What are their passions, their hobbies or special interests? How do they connect to their world around them, to their events and the plot, through the lens of what they love? I would take a moment to dive deeper, like Anthony Doerr has, to get to know the thing you're writing about, to find interest in it yourself so that can come through in the story. It's okay to give your character a little bit more to work with. I'm not a fan of knowing every detail of a character. I find that knowing their favorite color and their birthday and all that stuff isn't necessarily important. It's not about what you know about them. It's about what gives them a life, what gets them out of bed in the morning, what gets them stuck in bed. And part of that is knowing what drives them, what they are interested in, what they're thinking about majority of the time. Because if you think about it, there are a lot of characters where we just can't feel connected to them and we don't know why. I think so much of that has to do with this sense of them not quite being human, them not quite being someone we can connect to. But just like people with varying interests can connect with each other, based on the fact that they have a passion for something, we can connect with characters. Readers can connect with characters because they love something, and we know what it's like to love and care about random hobbies and interests. Dive deep, get to know your characters, get to know what drives them, and then see how you can translate the world through their eyes and their perspective. That's my thing. That's what I learned from Anthony Doerr. These books were so beautiful, and I don't typically read books like this. It was fun to read with my mom, and I enjoyed picking it up, but I can learn so much from it. And I think it can also, if you're writing a fantastical made-up world, make that world more immersive. If you give a character something that changes their perspective on the world around them to kind of sink you in deeper into a fantastical world. So those are my thoughts, and I appreciate you guys watching. I've had a wonderful time making this video. I will be back soon. I took a teensy break. I went on vacation, and with Christmas coming up, it will be busy, but I am determined to make more videos and talk about things that I love, like characters loving things. You're all wonderful. Have a fantastic day.